Welcome to the Microwave Kicks Week 36 match preview of this weekend. It's sad the Premier League is coming to an end, and in less than 2 or 3 weeks it's gonna be over. So at this stage of the Premier League, every team is actually fighting for something. It's either they are fighting for an European spot or they are fighting for the relegation, which has already been confirmed. As we all know, Southampton, Leicester City, and Ipswich have all been relegated back to the Championship. These 3 teams came to the Premier League and they are all being relegated. So it's that you are fighting for something or you're trying to be in a very good place to finish in the Premier League. So today we're going to talk about the Week 36 match preview. Before we start, if you are new to this channel, please hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, and turn on the notification bell so anytime I post any content, you'll be able to get your notification ASAP. So let's get straight into it. The first match for this week is Fulham against Everton. Fulham will be at home. They lost their last home game to Chelsea, while Everton last week drew at home to Ipswich, a 2-2 draw, which I predicted and which came out 100% correct. So tomorrow, which is Fulham against Everton, I usually write out some stats. I usually write out some odds and everything to say and to determine the score. So before I go ahead, predictions are never 100%, like I used to say. Sometimes it comes, sometimes it doesn't. So whatever predictions I give, you also have the right to edit before playing. If you're a punter, if you play games, you also have the right to edit. But I'll always do my best to get the predictions right, to get the predictions as I have actually studied. So the last 5 games for Fulham, they've won 2 and they've lost 3. Okay, so not a bad return. While for Everton, they've won 1, they've drew 2, and they lost 2. So it has not been the best of form for Everton. Everton are always drawing. They are the draw merchant, like I used to call them. So for the head-to-head against these 2 teams, Fulham has won 2, they've drawn 3, and Everton has won none at all. So you could see that the odds doesn't really favor this Everton side, and lately they have not been on form. Everton away form has not been good. They've played 8 this year already. They've lost 3, they've drew 3, and they've won just 2. Going by this stats, as well as the first leg, which they drew with Fulham, it was a 1-1 draw. I don't think Fulham is going to win. I don't see Fulham picking all 3 points. I think Everton is going to prove really very stubborn due to the fact that they drew their last match, against Ipswich, and they lost against Chelsea. So I don't think they are going to win this. I think it's going to end in a draw. Now it's going to determine if it's a score draw or a goalless draw. I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. But if you want to play safe, you can play Fulham to win or draw. I'm not going to play goals because, trust me, Everton can be very tacky sometimes. They can be very stubborn when it comes to defending. So I'm going to play a win or a draw for Fulham. But my prediction is a goalless draw or a 1-1 draw for Fulham. Now moving to the next game, which is Ipswich against Brentford. In the last 5 games for Ipswich, they've lost 3 and drew 2. They've won none. Like I said, they're already relegated. While Brentford have drew 2 and they've won 3. Brentford have actually picked up from recently. They won away at Nottingham Forest, and they disciplined Manchester United last week 4 goals to 2. So I think they are in a very good shape and a very good form. They've picked form at the right time, towards the end of the season. They're actually not. The home form for Ipswich has been bad. They've lost all of their last 7 games at home. I think Brentford is going to win this. Now is to determine how many goals is going to go by. So I think It's going to be a 3-0 victory for Brentford. I think Brentford is going to win this. I haven't really checked the team news lately, but going by the form of Brentford and the form of Ipswich at home, I think Brentford is going to win 3-0. To be on the safe side, you can bet over 2.5, which is, I think, is going to come, or 3.5 if you want to be a much more risk taker. But I think over 2.5 is going to come, and I see a 3-0 victory for Brentford. Brentford has actually not kept a clean sheet, so probably we could do a 3-1 victory for Brentford. Now going to the next match, which is Southampton against City. I'm not going to waste time here. Southampton has been relegated. City has picked up 5 wins on a bounce in all competition. City are in a very good place right now to qualify for the Champions League, which their form this season, at the start of the season, hasn't been good until this year. They picked form again and they get back into their winning ways. The last 5 for Southampton is they've just won the last 5, between these two sides. 1 win for Southampton, 4 wins for Manchester City. And the first leg ended in a 1-0 win for Southampton. I think Southampton has actually given Manchester City a very, very tough fight in the last couple of games, and I think it's going to happen again. But I see Manchester City winning. Now it not depends on how many goals we are talking about. The home form for Southampton has been really, really bad. In the last 7 games, they've drew 1 and they've lost all. While for Manchester City, the away form hasn't been really, really good either. So I see a very high scoring game. I see a 3-1 victory for Southampton. They are going to be very stubborn against City, very stubborn. But I see an over 3.5. So I say like 4 goals or more in that game, and I see Manchester City winning 3-1. Now moving on to the next game, which is Wolves against Brighton. That's their form in their last 4 games in different competitions. 4 wins for Wolves, 1 loss for Wolves. That's in their last 5 games. While for Brighton have drew 2, lost 2, and won just 1 in the last 5 games in all competition. While the head-to-head between these two teams is 1 win for Wolves, 2 draws, and 2 wins for Brighton. Currently, Wolves are more on form than Brighton. So I think going by this Wolves form, I think it's going to be another win for them. I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Wolves. But if you want to be on the safe side, you can play both teams to score, or Wolves win or draw. Wolves win or draw. Moving to the next game, which is Newcastle against Chelsea. I don't like to predict Chelsea game because sometimes I put emotions into this because I'm a Chelsea fan. So Chelsea has been fantastic in the last 5 games in all competition. They've won 5 on the bounce. In their last away game against Fulham, it was difficult, but they grind out the results. They know the importance of qualifying for the Champions League right now. They want to do what they did last season with Pochettino by winning 5 on the bounce. And Newcastle as well is also competing for the Champions League, so they are also, needed to win this game. They should win this game. It is very important for them because that should be their hope, aim, and objective right now to qualify for the Champions League. So I think the head-to-head between these two teams in the last 5 games have been even. 2 wins for Newcastle, 2 wins for Chelsea, 1 draw between these two teams. Now, the home form for Newcastle has been very, very impressive. 5 straight wins on a roll for Newcastle at home. Something tells me it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Newcastle. That's what my head is telling me, but my mind is telling me to be a 2-2 draw between Chelsea, or a 1-1 draw, or a draw. My mind is telling me to be a draw between Newcastle and Chelsea. Now I'm going by the Chelsea form. I'm going by the Newcastle form at home. So I'm actually trying to compare both together. I don't see Chelsea losing. That's one, because of the form and how the team has been shaped. Lavia coming in, and all of that. I think it's going to be a draw I think Newcastle, because these two teams are competing for the same, aim, the same Champions League. So Chelsea would not want to lose this one. Newcastle are in serious form right now, serious form, and they are so good. But I don't see Chelsea losing this game. I don't see Chelsea. I think it's going to be a Chelsea win or a draw. But my head is telling me to be a draw. My mind wants Chelsea to win. So I think to be on the safe side, just you can play both teams to score, to be on the safe side, over 1.5. But I'm going for a Chelsea 1-1 draw. Yeah. So for Manchester United against West Ham, the last game, West Ham has been bad. They've not won in their last 7 away games. So going by the Manchester United previous game, which was a win in their Europa League, and the 2 goals they scored against Brentford away from home, and how they came back against Atletico Bilbao, I think Manchester United is going to win 2-1. I think it's going to be both teams to score, but I don't see West Ham winning. West Ham will not win. I think Manchester United will win. If not 2-0, 2-1 will be the score. Now, Forest against Leicester City. Forest have dropped form recently, especially at home. They lost to Brentford and Everton, and their last 5 games they've only won 1. They've lost 3 and drew 1. For Forest against Leicester, I think it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Forest. Forest. It's going to be a 2-0 victory for Forest against Leicester City. While for Tottenham against Palace, in their last 5 games for Tottenham, 2 loss, 2 win, 1 draw. While for Palace, it has never been a draw in their last 5 games. So I don't see Palace winning here. Also, let's not forget, it's a London derby. So going by the form, I think Palace is not going to lose. I think the best result Palace will get here is a draw. I don't think Tottenham is going to win. They are just coming at the back of their qualifying for the final of the Europa League. I think Palace. I was thinking Palace was going to win 2-0, but something also tells me, if you want to play safe, both teams to score, obviously. But I think it's hard. It's hard, very hard. My mind is telling me to be a 2-2 draw, but I see Palace picking up something. I don't see Palace losing, so I think it's a Palace win or draw. And I think it's going to be a 2-1 loss at home. A 2-1 loss at home for Spurs, or 2-2 draw at home for Spurs. I'm trying to figure out which particular one. So I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. While for Liverpool against Arsenal, Liverpool champions of Premier League, Arsenal coming off the back of elimination from the Champions League. I think Arsenal is going to lose 2-1. Yeah, because Liverpool has been very good at home. They've won out of their last 7, they've only drew 1. They've won all. Something tells me it's going to be a 1-1 draw for Arsenal, but I think they are going to lose 2-1. To be on the safe side, Liverpool home win or draw. El Clasico, to be on the safe side, over 2.5. So that will be all for today for the EPL match previews and predictions. What do you think about these games I've given? Please share your thoughts in the comment. Hit the like button. Remember to play safe. Remember, score predictions are not always 100% correct, but feel free to edit before you play. Feel free to play with what your heart feels to play. I'm not liable for anybody losing money in bets, but play safe, play responsibly, and bet safe. Until I come away again next time, share your thoughts in the comment. Please subscribe if you're not subscribed. Hit the like button. Until I come away again next time, I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool.